3 of the Manifest Your Vision Challenge. We have a powerful day prepared for you. Welcome. Where is your energy? Where is your state? Beautiful ones coming into day 3. Share with me in the chats. What's the first word that comes to mind to describe your frequency? Good to see you, Wesley. Awesome to see you, Steve. Barbara's in the house. Carol, Vanja. I'm hoping I'm saying that name right. Beautiful name. Melissa, Diane, everyone, welcome. So yesterday was day 2, and we came into the awareness that we can integrate tools and skills to get into action towards the fulfillment of our vision by coming into resonance with a model of possibility. That we can literally quantum jump into the model of possibility to access these skills and resources, and then we can quantum jump out. And how wonderful it is to know that we have this quantum jumping tool at our fingertips. Yes? We also had an amazing experience with our wonderful special guest, Michael Beckwith. And we came to realize the importance of tuning in to the presence of love, the presence of who we really are. And from this state of the presence, asking, what is it that is seeking to express itself through me? Who do I need to become for this vision to manifest? Which means you're in the perfect place at the perfect time, right here, right now, for the next step. So good to be with you. Valerie, I'm so happy to see you. Big love. I'm going to give away a few things before we start. How about that? Who wants to spin the wheel? Let's get some. I'm going to do a few giveaways. One is I'm going to give away. Valerie, do you have an autographed book of mine already?
I love the energy.
I have always had that book. It's sitting right over here. It goes everywhere in my travels.
Oh.
Along with your whole file, my 30-day. I do it a lot. You're with me a lot.
You are in my
It's been
heart.
grateful to have you. I just wanted to share with everybody that Niurka, I have done 2 SIAs, 2 NEOs, and I did the master class with her. And she's part of my life every day. So everyone I meet or everyone I coach or everywhere I'm at, her teachings go forth. And so I know that you're all getting a blessing from her, as I have, and will continue to have. But you know what I want to share mainly? What you were doing with that yearly program that you have, mentoring, is the best thing ever. I stayed in tune with mentors all over. You have to have yourself. You have to have grounded yourself in order to be able to go forth with your vision. And you keep everyone there. Thank you. I love you.
I love you so much, and I know you've been navigating so many things, and you are a
Yes.
being of the luminous
I'm doing-
light. Yeah.
I'm doing good. And with the teachings, I've always been grateful through the 4 stages of my life, which is the 4th now. And every one, I was grateful for the mentors that came into my life to be able to take me through some very devastating tragedies and disappointments, and like we all have, right? Life goes on, things happen. But when we have people like you in our life, it makes it a lot easier. And Michael Beckwith, of course, has been in my life since way before The Secret. He did a breakthrough with me in Sedona.
What a blessing.
That was before he went on Oprah. He was so nervous that day. Anyway, thank you.
I'm so
going to
thrilled
let you
you're
go.
here. It's so wonderful to see your beloved. Good to see you. And you know what? Let's have you spin the wheel. Shall we? Let's have some fun. Spin the wheel. What do you say? You're going to win something. You ready? Let's do it for fun. Give Valerie some love. Valerie gets 500 Niurka bucks towards anything she wants to use. There you go, Valerie. 500 Niurka bucks. Oh, I love you so much, honey. Give her some love. There's a beautiful community here, and that's one of the keys. Someone asked me in the questionnaires, like, how do you stay on purpose? How do you stay on track? The answer to that is it's who I am. It's identity, but it's also community. The power of community. Who you surround yourself with impacts your results more than anything else. And there's a community here that is soulful to support you on your journey of evolution. One more gift before we get started. I'm going to give it to Diane Gleason because she always shows up. Fully present, camera on, ready to go. She gets an autographed copy of the book. Do you have one already?
Absolutely. I've had one
you
for
already-
15 years.
You've had it for 15 years. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to come up with something else to give you. You get to pick any product in our entire product line.
Okay,
Give
great.
Diane some love. She's had it. She's had it for 15 years. Awesome. Okay. All right, beautiful ones. Let's get going. Put in the chats one more time. Where's your energy? Where's your state? Because we're getting started. And how many of you are brewing breakthroughs since last night through to today? Who's feeling breakthroughs happening? I love that, Diane. She's holding up her book. Who's feeling breakthroughs in the house? Remember to honor those breakthroughs by putting up the B sign in the chats. Okay, so we've talked about the most essential aspects of manifesting your vision. It's your state of being. It's your presence. It's your essence. It's your love. This is like the foundation. And then from here, so the vision is like this overarching essence. This is what I'm inspired to bring in alignment with my purpose. This is what I'm feeling called, my highest aim. This is the vision. From this vision, there's going to be a definite chief aim. The definite chief aim is going to be the first strategic point of manifestation on the journey to manifest your vision. And one example that I'm going to use as a model of possibility, which I've already showed you, is Bruce Lee's definite chief aim. And I'm going to give you some variations so that you could write it in a way that's resonant for you. So here is his definite chief aim. You could see that he wrote it in a very ceremonial fashion. How many of you could see that this is consciously written? So here's what his definite chief aim is. We read it the other day. We'll read it one more time. I, Bruce Lee, will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performance and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting in 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward till the end of 1980, I will have in possession $10 million. I will live as I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. Okay, so here are the key points in your definite chief aim. For those of you in the VIP room, these are in your soul work book. So key writings. Definite chief aim has a clarity of purpose, a meaningful purpose that is defined. It's not vague. Okay. So for example, with Michael Beckwith, he was committed to bring the community together. That was very specific, and create a community, agape community. There was a burning desire that is in alignment with purpose, focuses your energy wisely. It's the fuel that drives your persistence, also your devotion. It's like your devotion into what it is that you're creating that creates a level of persistence, that creates a level of tenacity. Because one of the things that challenges a lot of people is they often quit right before they achieve a goal. So the important thing is to have that burning desire when the obstacles come up, when the dragons on the hero's journey arise, that you have that burning desire with your tools to move through those with tenacity, with persistence, with faith, with belief, setting a time frame by when you will accomplish this. The vision does not have a time frame. The vision is like the horizon, okay? The definite chief aim has the time frame. Got that? So the vision is like the horizon. You're always moving towards it, okay? It is your point of inspiration. Then the next part that is essential for your definite chief aim is your commitment of contribution. What will you give in exchange? There is a universal law of manifestation. It's called the law of equivalent exchange. And what it means is that for something to be received, something of equivalent value must be given up. You must sacrifice something in order to create space for something new to come in. What must you sacrifice? It might be your old stories. It might be your old narratives. It might be your old limiting beliefs. It might be your old fears. These are sacrifices. Who's ready to sacrifice that and create some space for something new to be born? So there's a commitment of contribution, then a written declaration, which is what we're about to write, clear, concise, emotionally compelling, and then fueled by enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, faith, belief, and unwavering confidence in yourself and your ability, even if you don't know how. This belief and this knowing that even if I don't know how, I can learn. Even if I don't know how, I can find a mentor, I can find a coach, I can find a way. There is always a way when I am committed. That is the belief. And then once you have it, there's a daily practice where once you have this definite chief aim declared, there's a daily practice where you read it first thing in the morning and you read it right before you go to bed, but you only read it in a particular state. You don't read it like you're trying to make something happen. It's not like I'm trying to get this to happen. It's like you're just reading it in the joy of the fulfillment as if it's already done. Got it? Okay, awesome. So now, next step. In a moment, not just yet, you're going to write yours. I've created, it's in your soul workbook in the VIP. If not, I'm going to leave this slide up when we do it. This is a simple template that is modeling Bruce Lee. Now, you might move a few things around. I'll explain how, but this is a framework for you to write and declare your definite chief aim. I, you state your name, am, your empowered identity. Now here, what Bruce Lee did is he went straight into what he was generating, the income. The way I would do it is I put the contribution first before the income. But I wanted you to see it this way since that's what the model of possibility I just showed you. So from empowered identity, you could go into contribution or you could go into income. But you want to make sure you're clear on the contribution, the unique service, the unique value that you are bringing, and the way that you are showing up as you're bringing this into the world. And then the state that you're in, the values that are driving your life while you're taking it to the next level. Has everybody got that? Let me give you an example of one. We work with a lot of people in the field of real estate. We work with all industries. But here's an example. I am a top producing real estate leader earning over $1 million annually while serving my clients with excellence, integrity, and heart. I consistently deliver extraordinary results and create life-changing outcomes for the individuals and families I represent. I lead with purpose, build and empower a high-performance team, bring true value to every transaction, relationship, and opportunity. I'm respected, referred, and recognized as a trusted expert. I create wealth through outstanding service, leadership, and aligned action. I live with freedom, fulfillment, and peace while growing, giving, and expanding into my highest potential. It's a little bit long, okay, but it's powerful. It's infused with the frequency of what it is that she's bringing. How was that, by the way? How is reading that example of a definite chief aim? Give me some feedback in the chats. And share with me while you're giving feedback in the chats, would it be valuable for you to have one of a definite chief aim that is meaningful for you, that becomes your compass and that you can refine as you go? How is that? Awesome. So let me give you, before I guide you to write yours right now, let me give you some quick examples of case studies of individuals who have achieved their definite chief aim by going through the depth of our transformational courses. This is Tracy Hennessy. She took SIA after recovering from a major surgery and a recession, which affected me, she says, financially in a big way. I found myself financially and emotionally challenged. I signed up for SIA to get back on track. Within 1 year of completing SIA, I tripled my income from the best year I had ever had in real estate and made the top 1,000 list of realtors in California. Now I'm confident and passionate about my health and my life, and I hope that each person looking for that extra passion and light invests in Niurka's courses. She's taken all of them and she's going to continue. That's a huge quantum leap, okay? She was navigating dragons. She was navigating a major illness and came back and had a quantum leap. Here's one of our students, been with us for many, many years, Jen von Stauffenberg. When she came to see us, she doubled her business in 2 weeks, got very clear in her purpose, very clear in her mission, doubled her business in 2 weeks. Now she started another business. Her business is in PR, public relations and publicity. Here's Courtney Atkinson. When he came, he was struggling financially. He was broke. He had borrowed $10,000 from his mother-in-law, and he was fighting with his wife. He dove in, he took SIA, he took NEO, he got clear in his definite chief aim, he got clear in his vision, he applied all of this. Now he's the #1 real estate team in all of South Alberta, the #1 top selling team in the company EXP in all of Canada. And now him and his wife are worth over $6 million, and they're building other great businesses, and they've expanded to other business. They're not just doing real estate right now, they're doing coaching. They've created a coaching business for people in the real estate field. So these are examples. Who would love to be a case study next time we have case studies where I could share you were here at Manifest Your Vision and you went from here to here, because one of my deepest passions is these case studies. All right, everybody, take out a pen. We're getting ready to write your definite chief aim. Everybody got their pen? Okay, sit up tall in your chair. Do you want me to put that slide back up? The slide with the template? So that would be helpful for you. I'm going to put that slide back up in a moment. First, sit up tall in your chair. Elongate your spine. Open your heart center. And inhale a deep, cleansing, rejuvenating breath. Deep breath in. And just honoring the space between the breath. And when you exhale, just do a slow, long exhalation. And now I'm wondering how easily you can think of a time, think of any time where you felt that you were at your absolute best. Think of a specific time. And when you've got that time, whichever one comes to mind first will be the perfect one for you, where you were at your best, you were on your A game. And as you think about it, whichever one comes to mind first, it could be in the context of business or relationships or your personal life. When you've got it, go ahead and nod your head. And go ahead and step into that memory fully in consciousness. How are you breathing in this state where you know you're at your absolute best? Where's your body in this state and your physiology where you know you're at your absolute best? Where's your focus? And now think of a time where you were totally in a state of flow, where things were just flowing. Just notice how easily you could think of whichever one comes to mind first. If flow doesn't resonate, it could be a time where you felt confident, a time where you felt successful. Think of a time where you felt the most successful. How easily can you think of a time where you felt the most successful in the context that you intend to manifest your vision? And go into that memory of when you felt the most successful. How are you breathing in this state where you felt the most success, victory? Where's your body in this state where you feel that success, that victory? Inhale that in. And as you exhale, feeling the feelings of victory and gratitude and flow, just open your eyes and start writing I and write your name. And the template is on the screen. I, state your name, am. And what is your empowered identity? I am. Who are you? Who are you being in alignment with your authentic, aligned, empowered self? I am. And then whichever way resonates most with you, you can go into the contribution or into the result that you're generating and then the contribution. Go ahead and put that down. What is the contribution, the service, the value that you're bringing? And what is the income, the result that is accomplished through that? How are you showing up? Write it down. How do you show up? Who are you being? And you'll refine this. You'll keep refining this. So this is your first draft. So just write it down. I live with. State the energy, the values, the frequency. And then while taking it to the next level, what is that next level? The fulfillment of what? That realm of infinite possibility. What is that next level that you're continually growing towards, evolving towards? Just trust what comes to mind first. Trust your highest intuitive wisdom. Ask your higher self. You can even invite your spiritual teachers, helpers, and guides and angels to support you in this declaration. You can keep it succinct. It doesn't have to be too long. Okay. Doing awesome. We'll give you another minute. You have 60 seconds. And just trust. Doing great. If you'd like a little bit more time, you could raise your hands to let me know. Okay. Take all the time you desire in the next 45 seconds to wrap it up. Or we'll give you a minute. We'll give you one full minute. Boy, I'm seeing you're all still, many of you still writing over there. If you're done with yours and you'd like to, knowing that this is a safe space, which it is, if you'd like to post it on the chat so I can review it, you're welcome to do so. And if not, that's okay too. But if you're inspired to post it on the chats, you can.
Can you repeat the I live with the state core?
Yes, let me put it right back up. Let me put the screen right back.
thank you.
You got it. Okay. So my empowered identity, am contributing in this particular way. That's the way I would write it. Bruce Lee just flipped those two. So I, empowered identity, am contributing the service, value in this particular way that leads to this result, this income, this revenue. This is how I'm being, this is how I'm showing up, this is how I'm leading in the world. And I live with, these are the values, the integrity, the soul, the alignment, whatever that may be for you. Okay, that's the energy, the frequency. While that's the quantum jump into the continual growth and evolution. Got it? All right, everybody. How was that process? In the VIP room, we're going to have time. This is why I always encourage people to go VIP. We'll have time to debrief these and give you some feedback. How many of you would love for me to be able to give you some feedback on yours, how to refine it, how to improve it? That's one of the values in VIP. In VIP, everyone who wants to share, that we have time to share today, will go through the definite chief's aims. It'll be very powerful. So Greg, good to see yours, Greg. Farmer Greg, powerful and aligned, generating over 150,000 in seed sales by July 1st, 2026 through education and seed inspiration. I live with power and purpose while helping people connect with their local food systems. Awesome. How does that feel, Greg? Unmute yourself. Tell me how it feels in your heart, in your soul, in your body.
It feels magical. I'm getting chills all the way down to my toes right now. It's just, yes.
I love it.
You know, the last 2 days have been awesome, but this clicked it into place.
Yeah. See, a lot of times what happens is people start with this step, but you can't start with this step because there's a level of being that infuses it with the proper frequency. So that's why we go into the frequency, and from there, birth your definite chief aim into being. Now, Greg's has a very specific time frame by July 1st. So it's actually a definite chief aim that it has a short time frame. So right after that, he could create another definite chief aim.
Oh, I've got that covered.
Yeah.
I've got one for March and one for June.
I love it. Awesome. Give Greg some love. I, Melissa Torrey, am a successful speaker generating over $100,000 by December 31st, 2026 or sooner through empowering women into positive change in their lives. I confidently lead by example. I live with authentic energy and truth while expanding my knowledge and practice into mastery. How does that feel? Melissa?
It feels good. It just kind of flowed.
Awesome.
It's a smidge intimidating, but that's part of it, right?
You know what? That's one of the dragons. And
Yeah.
it's that continual crossing the threshold. It was like, wow, that was one of the questions actually in the questionnaire is what if my vision feels so big? It's you take that action. Like Michael Beckwith said, you take that next step, you keep showing up. So I love that. Now, one thing you might want to get clear on is empowering which kind of women. Like, is there a niche to the type of women? Is it a certain kind? Because women is a very broad category. So you might want to get clear, is there a particular type of women for this definite chief aim that you'd like to serve?
Generally women over 50, like ready to,
So
make
put that
the,
down. That's going to help you be even more, especially in today's world and marketing and, where there's so much noise on the internet. By you being able to niche your definite chief aim to who specifically you are serving, that's going to allow you to get into results quicker. It's going to allow you to be more focused.
okay.
Let's see.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got it. I love it. Okay. I, Allison, am a destiny architect. I love that. A destiny architect. Okay. Generating over $10,000 a month by July 15, 2026 through my architectural coaching, assisting people in stepping into their soul aligned destiny. I am designing a new golden age by becoming masterful. Instead of I am designing, you could say it like I have designed. You can also say I am, to just feel the difference between both and see which one resonates with you. Just feel into it. Okay. So because I am designing feels like it hasn't happened yet. Like I have designed, this is what is done. Okay. I have designed a new golden age by becoming masterful in my energetic presence. I live in harmony, flow, peace, and love, and all I do while continuing to break through to the next level of luminosity. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, and Maria, remind me to speak on the sacrifice piece again, because I saw your comment in there. If you could remind me a little later, because I want to stay on this point, but that is a very powerful point that I would love to clarify for you. So those are 3 awesome examples. Give everybody else a high five. Okay. In the VIP room, we'll read as many as we can, and I'll give you my personal feedback on how you can improve them. So now we've got this vision. Yes? Like that is pulling us towards the horizon of our highest destiny, towards the horizon of our highest aim, our highest calling. From this vision, we have our definite chief aim. Okay, this is the focus of what specifically I intend to bring through to fruition within a particular time period. Underneath this definite chief aim, you're going to have SMART goals. SMART goals that lead to the fulfillment of the definite chief aim towards the fulfillment of the vision. SMART goals. And we're going to write one SMART goal now, but I'm going to give you the strategy so you can continue the SMART goals. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. Okay, relevant, for example, what's happening in the world right now, it's relevant to what's going on, and time bound. So this is an example. I changed the name of the company just to protect confidentiality, but someone in our VIP session during this training put down that their vision is, I want to create a great team in XYZ, build clients, new XYZ facilitators, and the best XYZ programs for success in business and personal goals. I don't know if you can see that that's starting to get clear, but it's not clear yet. Like we need to get clear. One of the things that challenges people to fulfill a vision is that they don't have a definite chief aim with SMART goals that are measurable that lead towards that. So that's where, has anybody been in a place where you get too overwhelmed? Like, where do I start? And what is it the first thing that I need to do? And how am I going to make this happen? And what's the best use of my time? So creating SMART goals is huge. So if I was coaching this person personally, or if I was guiding this person in a advanced course, I would ask them questions like this. Team, how many team members do you want? What roles by when? Clients, how many new clients do you intend to enroll? By what date? Facilitators, how many new facilitators do you plan to train, certify by when? Programs, what specifically makes a program the best? Is it client results, completion rates, revenue, testimonials, certification issued? What's the timeline for achieving this goal? Is it a 90-day, 6-month, 1 year? So what I did is I took this directly from the questionnaires, okay? Changing the name of the company and, and also success metrics. How will you measure success? in this personal goal. And then we changed it to, and I'm just playing with it. I don't know that this is the goal, but I'm giving an example. How many of you could see the difference once we start taking this vision and creating a SMART goal that can support it? In 90 days or less, I will enroll 15 new clients into my signature program, hire one virtual assistant to support client onboarding, and train new facilitators to deliver my methodology, generating $30,000 or more in revenue and freeing up 10 hours per week to focus on my business growth. How is that? Different? How many of you can see that before we're like in this ambiguity? And we take this ambiguity and we bring it down to specificity. Very powerful. Let me give you a few more, and then you're going to write one SMART goal yourself towards the fulfillment of your definite chief aim, towards the fulfillment of your vision. So there was, in the VIP room, there's individuals that are writing books. So instead of something like complete my book and get it published as soon as possible, here's a SMART goal towards that definite chief aim, towards that vision. I'm grateful I've completed my book proposal and 3 chapters of my book by March 15th or sooner. You guys see? We're grounding it in action. Maybe someone says, develop my public speaking skills. Here's how we turn that into a SMART goal. Today's May 1st, 2026. I'm grateful now that I've successfully delivered 5 or more speaking engagements to investor groups. I'm thrilled I've researched, here's another SMART goal. I'm thrilled I've researched, organized, and scripted my 18-minute TED Talk and delivered it to my coach for her professional feedback by August 1st, 2026 or sooner. Here's another SMART goal. I want to improve my communication and influence skills. It's vague. Today is December 1st, 2026, and I'm excited and grateful that I've successfully earned my certification and as an NLP practitioner. So this person completed SIA and NEO and earned their NLP practitioner. It's a goal. It's a SMART goal. So now what I'm going to have everybody do is let's create one SMART goal that you can accomplish in the next 30 days. What's a SMART goal that can be accomplished in the next 30 days towards the fulfillment of your definite chief aim? And I'll put one example on the, let me find an example for you. What was happening? Give me one, find you. So go ahead and write one. I'll put this one on the board as an example. Okay. So SMART goal needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be relevant to what's happening, to what people need, what's happening in the world, what your clients need. And it needs to be time bound, which is 30 days. So you could say in 30 days or less, I will, and write it down. Or in 30 days or less, I have. You can even take instead of I will, I have. There's another way. It's done. And it doesn't have to be this big, huge thing. It could be something significant, or it could be something meaningful that moves you in that direction. I mean, it could be as simple as that you've become a member and you're showing up every single week, ready to take action. That you've made that commitment. You're showing up every week, focused and ready to take action. Thirty more seconds. Once you have your SMART goal, if you'd like to share it with me, you can put it in the chats. So Alana, great. Put the 30-day mark. So in 30 days or less, I have. Another way to say it, you could say in 30 days or less, I have, or you can literally put the date 30 days out, like in your mind. Like today is March 12th, 2026, and I am so happy and grateful that this is manifest. There's a different way to say it. You can even put at the end, I'm so happy and grateful that this is accomplished. I'm so happy and grateful this is done. I'm so happy and grateful this is manifest. I'm so happy and grateful this is accomplished. So Greg, for example, we just heard Greg's definite chief aim. One of his SMART goals is in 30 days or less, I have completed the marketing funnel and launched it to our list on Facebook marketing. Within 30 days or less, I love it. We have sold our first $10,000 worth of seeds. Awesome. Awesome. So then you got to take a look at, based on, and make sure that it's when we say, make sure that it's something that you can create a win with. Okay. Like this doesn't have to be this huge goal. It's a 30-day goal, but you want to have a win with this. And then we're going to stack those wins. Does that make sense? You don't want this to be a pie in the sky goal. This is not a pie in the sky revenue goal. This is a goal that is a stretch. It's achievable, but it's a bit of a stretch. It's a challenge, but you're able to hit it. And then you grow from there. You grow from there. You see, Lolita says, I am so happy and grateful now that I have successfully added 30 new women to our membership by 3/30/2026. I love it, Lolita. Awesome. How does that feel? Unmute yourself and share. How does it feel?
Feels awesome.
Okay, awesome. And how does it feel with your definite chief aim? Because, we've been working on the vision. Now we've got this definite chief aim. Now you've got a SMART goal in 30 days to support this momentum. How does that combination feel?
Oh, it feels, like it's in alignment.
It's in alignment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Give Lolita some love. Awesome. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. Has everybody written their SMART goal? All right, so we've just completed this segment right here. We've just completed the segment of writing your definite chief aim and writing your SMART goal. And then you could write more SMART goals as that one is accomplished. And as you fulfill this definite chief aim, new definite chief aims will unfold towards the direction of your vision and highest destiny. How was that, everyone? Give me some feedback in the chats. How was that session? Awesome. I'm inspired to show you one case study of a woman whose birthday is this week. She was actually born on Valentine's Day, and she's a student and a graduate of our courses, and she applied this exact process that I'm guiding you through. And check out her sharing about the fulfillment of her definite chief aim. Super inspiring. And then we'll be going on to our next segment. What was happening before Sia? Then you came and now all these things.
It was like kind of like flatline. I had this thing before I had my breakthrough with you with Sia and the other programs that a shrink to fit. And I've always had that. And that was that doubting thing. And because my mother said blah, blah, blah when I was little. So I got rid of the shrink to fit. That was my breakthrough. Yes. I've written books and things like that, but never a best-selling book. I love what I did with you. So since then, I have the best-selling book, best-selling international author, which is a big deal, 13 categories. I was on a cover of a magazine for February. Valentine's Day is also my birthday. So this was my Super Bowl month. I've never had a month like February, like this with all the media. 2 TV interviews with TV show spots on NBC. In talks right now with a lifestyle show. I did mind mapping and all sorts of things like that, but it's breaking through and knowing I can do it. And it's from Sia.
Yay! It's like I love celebrating these stories and seeing everyone live into the fulfillment of their highest destiny. So I don't know if you could hear in her articulation that the belief before, and she even tuned in that a lot of that had come from her childhood, the belief before was I shrink to fit. And that she released that belief, and that by her being liberated of the belief that I shrink to fit, that was the difference that made the difference. So this... Okay, so before we go on to the next segment, let's see. See, Maria says, I've always had a little anxiety that I haven't done it the best I can. Always, Maria? Always is one thing I would say. You don't have to, I'm just going to say always, like every time, even while you're sleeping. So here's the thing. The exercise that we just did right now, the visualization we did yesterday, the stuff we did on day one, this is work that comes from our advanced mindset and communication course, SIA, which you heard me talk about yesterday, SIIA. It stands for Supreme Influence in Action. So what you've been experiencing has been from SIA. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you about a complementary course to SIA. They go together. They can stand alone, but when they come together, they amplify. It's called Neogenesis. So I'm going to teach you a segment from Neogenesis right now because it's a very different, totally different experience than SIA. Neogenesis is about going to the root of whatever's been blocking you and liberating those obstructions at the root and clarifying everything in your life to create a new beginning. How many of you can sense that you have some things from the past that show up in the present that don't serve you? They take you out of alignment. They take you out of your center. They take you out of your presence. They take you out of your power. Hey, and I see there's some people don't have their cameras on. Turn your cameras on, everybody. I want to see everybody. Okay, so SIA gives you the most tools, techniques for mindset and communication. Neogenesis goes to the root of whatever has blocked you to create a release that allows you to create a new beginning in your life. The symbol of Neogenesis, as you see here, is the mythical phoenix. Isn't that beautiful? In Greek, the word neo stands for new. Genesis stands for beginning. I'm about to give you a powerful teaching before I share with you about the experience that we have coming up. So the legend of the phoenix is the legend of the hero's journey. Who's never heard the legend of the phoenix? You guys have all heard the legend of the phoenix? I love this. Okay, very powerful. I love this. So the phoenix is this beautiful mythical bird with this plumage of gold and scarlet and turquoise, and it knows that there comes a time where it's come. It's time to die to the old self and be reborn. So what it does is it creates a nest with cinnamon and myrrh and frankincense, and then it ignites a sacred fire. It dances in the flames. It dissolves into the ashes. A new egg is born, from which a new phoenix is born that soars into the temple of the sun in the next stage of its evolution. This is all of our stories. This is an archetypal story in the human experience. This death and rebirth. Who's ready to have a rebirth of the next level of your creation, your contribution, your gifts into the world? That's what Neogenesis is. So let me give you a teaching from it, and then I'll share with you the distinctions. So one person in the questionnaires asked, and this is such a phenomenal question, and tell me if anybody else can resonate with this: how can I heal the core wound that I suspect has been sabotaging my business efforts, vision, and goals in the times when I forget or I'm not in a high vibrational state? Who can relate to that question? Okay. See, so it's a question that's in the field. It's not just a particular individual. It's a question that's in the field, and I knew that. That's why I brought it up with no names. So that is the journey of... That question is what Neogenesis answers. Neogenesis is like going into a cocoon of transformation. This is a chrysalis. Okay, so what happens when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon? The caterpillar goes into the cocoon or builds that chrysalis. There is a dissolution of the old self. The old self completely dissolves, and there's a reconstruction into a whole new way of being, whole new level of being. That is what Neogenesis is. It is a chrysalis of transformation. It is a portal of transformation. It is a cocoon that ushers in the next stage of your evolution in alignment with your true purpose. So one of the things that Neo goes deeply into is understanding the patterns that have been buried in your subconscious mind. See, we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. They're not separate minds, they're expressions of mind. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you a teaching on the prime directives of the subconscious mind. Okay, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the introductory teaching, because this is a bigger teaching. I'm going to give you the introductory teaching of the prime directives of the subconscious mind. How many of you have ever had an experience where it's like you can feel yourself moving toward a goal that you like, that you're committed to, or that you're inspired to create, but there's something that pulls you back? Anybody had that type of experience? And you're like, okay, what's going on here? So often what happens is someone consciously wants something, but subconsciously, there's an old pattern, an old fear, an old belief, an old decision. Sometimes people don't realize that they made decisions in the imprinting stages of childhood that have literally been coded. And now they could be in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're still seeing through the map of the world of those old decisions. We'll talk more about that. So let's go into the prime directives of the subconscious mind. Because ultimately, it's about creating alignment. When you can create alignment with your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and be in a state of equilibrium, you tap into higher intuitive wisdom. You tap into supreme consciousness. You tap into what Michael was embodying for us, that we all experienced here in that beautiful transmission that we experienced together yesterday. So the prime directives of the subconscious mind protects you. It automates based on past experiences. It takes action based on what serves survival and identity. It's emotion. It's emotional. It's pattern driven. It's actually the domain of emotions. How many of you have ever had an experience where something triggers you and you react in emotion? And then later you're like, wait a minute, that didn't make any sense. I kind of overreacted. Anybody ever had something like that happen? Okay, so the subconscious mind is the domain of emotions. That's one of its prime directives. Here's let me give you some of the distinctions here. So the word subconscious means beneath the surface. Here, I have a definition for you. Hang on, I got a slide. I love these slides on Zoom. Give me a hand. I'm navigating the slide deck. Okay. Here we go. Let me give you some distinctions now, introductory teaching on the difference between conscious mind and subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is more objective, logical, reasoning, analytical, sequential. It experiences parts. It's like the 1, 2, 3 steps, where the subconscious mind is more subjective, intuitive, instinctual. Okay? It's synthesizing. It's non-judgmental. It experiences the whole. So the word subconscious means it's occurring in the mind. It is occurring in the mind, but it is not in conscious awareness. So it is mental processes that are taking place without you being consciously aware of them. And what happens, a lot of these patterns that are stored in the subconscious happen in the early years, which psychologists call the imprinting period, the imprinting stages of childhood. Somewhere between 0, why do we say 0? Literally in the womb. Okay, in the womb, coming into age 6. I found usually age 6. Some say 6 or 7. So that's the imprinting period. 8 to 13 is the modeling period. 14 to 12 is the socialization period. Okay. So who can already tell that there were some patterns that may have been imprinted? And it might not have even been, it might have been in your early childhood. It might have been carried down through your lineage, your ancestral patterns. Who had some patterns in their family? Patterns of addiction, patterns of scarcity, patterns of lack, patterns of limitation, patterns of obesity. Okay, these patterns are carried down through the ancestral line. So what neogenesis does that is so powerful is that it guides us through a process of recognizing these patterns and being able to step out of them. Being able to observe them from a higher perspective. So we talked about on day 1 how we've been programmed, yes? But we're also meta-programmable. The ability to step out of these old programs and be in the presence, as Michael shared with us yesterday. Be in the presence. Okay. How we doing, everybody? We're going, this is some deep stuff. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you some of the prime directives right now, and I'm going to put them on the slides. So the subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion. It's receptive. It's always listening. It does not remain idle. Okay. So I'll give you an example of this. So amenable to suggestion. What does amenable to suggestion mean? That it's receptive, like a little sponge. So years ago, I had a woman who's a graduate of all our courses, amazing lady, successful in a relationship with her husband who she loved, but he was navigating a lot of insecurities that he was projecting onto her. She didn't understand why. And she was like, I love this man, but he's so smothering. I don't understand where this insecurity comes from. He feels like there's always going to be a loss. So she says to him, would you work with him? I said, will he come to Neogenesis? And she said, yes, and he came. So all of a sudden, he's in Neogenesis. And he's in the experience, and he has a breakthrough moment. This memory comes up that was completely outside of conscious awareness that came up in the experience. Now, here's another prime directive. I have this on the slides, but I'm going to tell it to you right now because it's relevant to the story, so we can skip that slide. The subconscious mind represses memories with negative emotions until you're ready to deal with it. And when you're ready to deal with it, it presents it for resolution. It's repressing those memories for protection, for safety. So all of a sudden, when he's in a room, we're all together in an environment, we're in a physical space, we weren't online on Zoom, all of a sudden he knows he's in a safe space, it's a safe environment, there's zero judgment, there's only unconditional love, and boom, the subconscious mind realizes, I'm safe to release this. This is now the time to do this deep inner work. And this memory, completely outside of conscious awareness, comes up. Who in the past has been through deep dive transformational courses with me, and you've had memories come up, and you've been able to process them and work through them very powerfully? You take a look, if you've seen the room, I'm seeing a bunch of hands come up. That's why there's revisits in here. So all of a sudden, this memory comes up, and here's what the memory is. The memory is he's at the zoo with his dad, and he really, really wants a balloon. So he says to his dad, Dad, can I get a balloon? And the dad says, you can't have a balloon, you're going to lose it. He says, but I'll get you a little wax statue. And he says, I don't want a wax statue. I want the balloon. I want the balloon. Dad says, you can't have the balloon, you're going to lose the balloon. We're going to get you a wax statue. I don't want the wax statue. I want a balloon. I want a balloon. So this went back and forth, until finally the dad got a little aggravated, fine, got him the balloon. And the little boy's so excited. He's walking around with this balloon, and all of a sudden he turns and he sees something that catches his attention, and what happens? Lets go of the balloon. And in that moment, in a state of anger, his dad looks at him, points at him, and says, see, I told you, if you don't hang on tight to things, you lose them. So in that moment, in the imprinting stages of a child, with the resources of a child, the conscious mind doesn't have the conscious mind hasn't formed yet to have the ability to go, hey, that's your stuff, that's not mine. Don't project that energy onto me, okay? The conscious mind hasn't developed. The subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion. It's receptive. It's always listening. So it receives that. And in that moment, a belief is formed and a decision is made. And it is literally coded on the timeline, a timeline that is outside of conscious awareness. So one of the prime directives of the subconscious mind, it is also the storehouse of memories. Every memory you've ever experienced, whether you can remember it or not, who has blind spots in their memories, like dark spots? You can't remember certain entire times. We could talk more about that in Neogenesis. What causes that? Okay. So let's say all of a sudden this little boy had this experience here, and he was 4 or 5. In that moment, there was emotions that came up, right? What emotions? Tell me in the chats. What emotions do you think that little boy would have experienced in that moment? Maybe fear, maybe anger, maybe sadness, okay, maybe shame. So those emotions are not safe to be felt in that moment. So what happens when the emotion is not safe to be felt? Take a guess in the chat. It becomes repressed. I'm going to push this down. Okay, so it goes from the conscious mind into the unconscious. But the energy is still there. The energy hasn't been released. Can everybody go like this? Hold a fist as hard as you could hold it. And imagine that was an experience that happened to you when you were 4. And now hold your other fist as hard as you could hold it. And imagine that was another experience that happened to you when you were 5. And then hold it. If you had another arm, you would hold it. And if you had another arm, and then imagine that you had all of these obstructions, but they're buried down. So what happens is, what this does is it creates a contraction in the psyche. It creates a contraction where the light cannot shine through. The light of your highest wisdom, the light of your true purpose, the light of your highest calling, the light of who you truly are cannot shine through when these, in Sanskrit, they call it the kleshas. Kleshas. Kleshas are the obstacles. It's a Sanskrit word that means the obstacles to enlightenment, the obstacles to living into your highest destiny. It's obstacles that we will all experience, including myself, all of us on the hero's journey. That's why it's so important to keep plugging in and getting the tools. So the emotions become repressed. Then in the moment, a belief is formed. What is the belief in this context? Based on, the belief is, if I don't hang on tight, I'm going to lose it. Okay? If I don't hang on tight, I'm going to lose it. And then from that belief, a decision is formed. What is the decision? I will hold on tight no matter what, right? Or something of that nature. So then what happens is a belief is formed, a decision is made, emotions are repressed, beliefs are formed, and a decision is made. Then what this does is it creates a map of reality. It starts creating their map of reality. So even though this person is in a field of infinite possibilities, now they're growing, they're 10 years old, they're 15 years old, they're 20, they're 30. Even though they're in a field of infinite possibilities, they're seeing through the lens, they're seeing through the frame, they're seeing through the perspective of these original patterns. So all of a sudden, his kids are starting to get ready to go to college, and he doesn't know why. He feels this fear that he's going to lose them. All of a sudden, the client was supposed to call back on Friday, and they didn't call back, and he goes into the fear that, oh my gosh, am I going to lose that deal? All of a sudden, his wife is a little late for something, and he thinks, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Maybe I did something wrong. Am I going to lose it? But what's happening is the past is being projected onto the present. And it becomes a theme. Who can relate to this as I'm sharing this story in your own experience? Here is the awesome news, my friend. There is a gift. There is a profound, this is the treasure. Remember we talked about on day 1 that when you are victorious with the dragon, that you go into the innermost cave. It's part of the hero's journey. Part of the hero's journey is we go into the innermost cave and we have this experience with the dragons, that ultimately what happens is the treasure, the victory. That's what this is. It's like buried treasure. It's a learning. It's a learning. It's wisdom. There's wisdom here. There's something buried here. There's a learning. There is a gift for you and your evolution. A learning that once integrated allows those old patterns to dissolve in light of new awareness, in light of new understanding. So the subconscious mind is always listening. It's never idle. Sometimes people say things that move them in directions that are the opposite of where they want to go. I brought my captain's hat because the subconscious mind says, aye, captain. When you say, oh my gosh, why is this so hard? Subconscious mind goes, aye, captain, it's hard. We're going to make it hard. The subconscious mind goes, oh my gosh, what if I lose it? Aye, captain, need to make sure we don't lose it. I'm going to focus on not losing it. Okay. What if I do it and it doesn't work? Aye, captain. So the subconscious mind is always listening and is taking action on these directions. This is how Sia and Neo work together. Sia is going to give you the communication tools to start consciously directing your subconscious mind properly, purposefully. It's going to give you tools to interrupt patterns that don't serve you. Neo is going to go to the root of whatever has obstructed. Okay. So let me share with you how this works. If I was to say to you, pick one area of your life that by you having a major breakthrough in this area, everything else would quantum leap. Like, what is the area that has been most up for you? Pick the area of your life that if you can have a quantum leap in this area, it could be your health, it could be your finances, it could be your life's purpose and direction, it could be your mental and emotional state, it might be your relationship with yourself. Okay? Who could have a quantum leap in their relationship with themselves, how you relate with you and you. So put the area in your life that by you having a major breakthrough in this area. Okay, so Alana, focus and commitment will happen in an area. What is the area that you'd like more focus and commitment? So finances, loving relationships, money, business. Okay, so I would invite you to pick one just for what I'm about to teach right now. Pick one area. Everybody's got one area? In that area right now, you are getting a result. Okay. What determines the results that you get? Tell me in the chats. That's right, Melissa. It's your actions, your behaviors. Your behaviors determine your results. Your actions and your behaviors. What determines your actions and behaviors? Okay. Your actions are fueled by beliefs. What do you believe? What you believe is going to determine your actions. When you shift your belief, your actions shift automatically as a natural action. At SIA, here's the difference. Let me give you a difference. At SIA, we give you tools to transform limiting beliefs in a specific area. Like I have limiting beliefs on public speaking. I have limiting beliefs on, being a coach. I have limiting beliefs on meeting the person of my dreams. I have limiting beliefs that are, how many of you can see those are context-specific limiting beliefs? That's very different than a belief of, what if I'm not good enough? Who could see that the belief of what if I'm not good enough is an overarching limiting belief that goes into other categories? Can you guys see that? Okay, so SIA guides you to recode context-specific limiting beliefs. So context-specific, belief about me being a coach, belief about being on stage, belief about me making money, belief about this. Neo goes to the root of the limiting belief. This is a deeper belief, like the belief that I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes. These beliefs that are more overarching. Okay, so what determines your beliefs? Tell me in the chats, what determines the beliefs that you have? And these two go very close together. Well, actually, Julie says your thoughts. The thoughts you have are influenced by your beliefs. So the beliefs you have will determine whether you're having thoughts that are empowering or disempowering. See, Tracy says experiences, but is it really your experiences? Aren't there two people that can go through totally similar experiences and one person is devastated and demolished in the presence of it and the other person thrives and says, I'm turning this into my purpose and mission, is never going to happen again on my watch? So it's not the experiences, it's the meaning that we give to the experiences. The meaning that we give to the experiences is what shapes our lives. So what determines, there you go, Melissa, there you go, Carmen. See, Carmen's coming and she's a revisit. She's like, I got this, right, Carmen Emanuel's? Core values, your core values. And ultimately your identity right here, okay? Core values answer the question, what is most important to you? What's most important to you in life? What's most important to you in business? What's most important to you in your purpose? What's most important to you in relationships? What is most important to you in life? What if I shared with you that I could sit with someone for 5 minutes and elicit their core values? What if I shared with you I could teach you how to do this very quickly? All we got to do is look at the results. Often, someone will tell you that their values are one thing, but when you look at the results, it's something else. Somebody will sit here and say, I value success and integrity and, good communication, but then you look at their results and they're not matching. What does that mean? That means that consciously they're aspiring to have that, but subconsciously there's something else running the show. So for example, at what we do at Neogenesis specifically is I guide you through a very powerful process to elicit, let me slow down right now, make sure everybody's got this. I guide you through a very powerful, cathartic, liberating, life-changing process to elicit the core values that have been driving your life up until now, recognizing that we're in a brand new moment in the area that you picked, in the area of finances or relationship with yourself or your life's purpose or your business or your finances or whatever that may be. And when I guide you through this elicitation, it takes an entire day. See, imagine the value you're getting here right now. When we're at Neo, we're there for 4 full days. It takes 1 full day to remove this record. Would it be okay? And when I say record, who remembers those old records that have the grooves in them? And every time you take that record, you play it, it plays the exact same way again. Has anybody got a record that's been playing that you'd like to remove? Create space for a new record to come in? Would it be okay if it took us an entire day to remove a record that's been playing since the imprinting stages of childhood? To create liberation for your new beginning, for your neogenesis? So it takes us a day to do that. And here's what happens. I start by asking the question. So I'll tell you the question right now that I start the elicitation with. I ask this question. Based on the results in the category that you picked, the category of finances, the category of your life's purpose, your relationship with yourself, whatever that may be, based on the results, knowing that we're in a brand new moment, what has been most important to you back then? Based on what was showing up. And let me tell you what comes up sometimes while people go through this elicitation. They don't realize that what they were valuing was being safe, not getting hurt, being comfortable, not being seen sometimes. Has anybody had an issue in the past with being seen or not being seen? Okay. So then all of a sudden these deeper values start coming up. Let me share with you what values actually are. Give me some feedback in the chats because we're going through some very powerful content right now. How are we doing, everybody, while I get these slides on values? Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing that in the chats, Kariena, I don't know if I said your name correctly. Make sure you guys have all your cameras on so I can see you. She says, but my values are truth, love, justice, abundance, generosity. So let me ask you this, based on your results, is that what's consistently showing up or is something else showing up? That's the question. What has been showing up? A lot of times what we think our values are might be different than what's showing up. But doesn't it make sense that whatever's showing up is a result, that what's showing up within you, within your state, within your being, within your results is reflecting back to you what you've been valuing, which is the compass of your decision making? How are we doing, everybody? Let me take a look. So Allison says, so good. Okay, not being seen. There you go, not being wrong. I understand. I need someone else to give me everything I need. Is that the old belief or the old decision that you're becoming aware of? Okay. Yeah, can you speak to the results? So Julie says, can you speak to the results? So let's say, what category are you, put it in the chats, Julie. Let's say you're coming to Neogenesis and you're going to pick one category to have a breakthrough. Which category would you pick? Put it in the chat so I can answer your question. Okay. While I get my slide. Finances or love. So you're going to pick one because we're going to be very surgical in this process. You're going to pick one, okay? And whichever one you pick, here's the awesome news. It doesn't matter which one you pick because whichever one you pick, it's going to create an elevation in every area of your life. It's almost like if I invite you into my home, you can come in through any door in the home. I could say you can come in the front door, the back door, the side door. You could come in through the garage. There's many different ways you can come into my home. But regardless of what door you take, you're in the temple, you're in the sanctuary, you're in the cocoon, in the chrysalis of transformation. So you will notice how every area of your life influences of every other area. So let's say finances, okay? So Julie picked finances. So I would say, what result is showing up in your finances? What's in your bank account? Okay? What is the result in your finances? You see how we're going to make this very specific? We're not going to get airy-fairy on this. Finances, what are the results? There's something in your bank account. There's something that, financially, your investments, different areas. Okay. So here we go. Values. Here's what values are. Core values are generalizations about deep belief systems. They're deeply ingrained. Values can be conscious or unconscious. A lot of times someone says, well, my values are love and integrity and truth. Those are conscious. There might be some other values that are unconscious. The question is, what's driving the action that leads to that result? So the values can change with context. Someone might have a particular value in their intimate relationship that does not cross over. Like, how many times do we see somebody who is like super disciplined in their business, but they're not disciplined in their body, in their health and vitality? Or the opposite, they're like super disciplined in their health and vitality, but they can't get their finances together. So they have discipline in one context. Discipline is a value in one context, but it's not a value in another context. So Neogenesis gives you profound insight on these core values. Values determine what's most important. They're primarily responsible for your motivation. They determine how you invest and how you spend your time, your money, your energy, your resources. Values illuminate what you want to achieve and what you want to avoid, what you want to move toward and what you want to move away from. That's a big one right there. These values, coming back to this, these values are fueled by an underlying motivation that is called, in NLP, it's called a meta program. We don't go into meta programs at Neogenesis. This is stuff we do at SIA. So you're going to start seeing how these two come together for a major expansion. Okay? A meta program are deeper level programs than even beliefs. Let me give you an example of one, just so you know what I mean by meta program. How many of you have a tendency to put other people's needs before your own? You just have a tendency to do that. How many of you have a tendency to put your needs first and then other people come after you? That's a meta program. That's a meta program. Okay? So here's another meta program. In SIA, I give you all the meta programs. Actually, the meta programs is in the master's course. So there's a journey here. So the core values are driven by an underlying motivation that is a meta program. That motivation is to move toward something wanted, like your vision, your definite chief aim. Or the meta program is to move away from something unwanted. That's a meta program. So for example, if someone goes into business for themselves because they don't want to work for someone else, I don't want to work for someone else. Is it different if someone wants to start a business because they don't want to work for someone else versus if someone starts a business because I've got this vision, I've got this product, I've got this service, I've got this offering that can impact people's lives, it can make a difference, that it can profoundly solve problems in a meaningful, impactful way. I am so fired up about my vision. Is there a difference between these two drives? They're huge. When someone's unconscious meta program is to move away from something unwanted, what happens is they take their life force energy and they push away from that unwanted thing. So I'm pushing away from this unwanted thing. So what happens is I push away from it. I'm moving away from it, right? I'm pushing away. But there comes a point where I'm far enough away from it where I don't feel the pain. So then what happens is you subconsciously start to lose your motivation. Because the goal, the vision, the definite chief aim was never to be here, it was to not be here. That's why the work we did these 3 days was so important to everything else that we're doing on this journey. I mean, a stereotypical example of this is, how about the bride who loses a bunch of weight right before the wedding? Why does she lose a bunch of weight right before the wedding? because there's a moving away from motivation. I don't want to look fat on one of the most memorable days of my life. Don't want to look bad in the wedding dress. But is there a difference between I don't want to look fat or my body's a temple? I'm lean, healthy, fit, vital, energized. I take care of nourishing my body temple. Is there a difference? Is it big or is it small? It's huge. So here's what happens. And this could be a major breakthrough for you. So I'm curious as we're going through this, if anybody's having breakthroughs, put those B's in the chats, is that when the meta program is pushing away from something unwanted. How many of you can tell that you've been pushing away from some unwanted things? Who's been pushing away from something unwanted? I don't want this. I don't want that. Anybody? Okay. So if you're pushing away from something unwanted, that creates roller coaster results. Roller coaster results. In my research and doing this work for more than half my life now, okay, more than that, what I've found and what a lot of the experts confirm and talk about is that there's three things going on here, which I talked about earlier in this. It's limiting beliefs, limiting decisions, and emotions that are locked into these patterns. The moment you create the liberation here at the root, all of a sudden your entire experience of your timeline changes. The timeline changes. You have a timeline. I'll give you an example. Everybody sit up tall in your chair. Elongate your spine. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question and just point in whatever direction comes to mind first when I ask you this question. Just first thing that comes to mind. If I was to ask you to point to the past, point to the past. Where is the past? Okay. Now point to the future. So if you're looking from my perspective, you can see that different people are pointing in different directions. How many of you pointed the past was behind you and the future was in front of you? How many of you, did you feel the timeline almost moving through you? Or was it moving over you? Was it moving below you? How was the timeline moving? Actually, everybody stand up for a second. Let's do this together right now. Stand up. Okay. Point to the past. Point to the future. How easily can you imagine your timeline implying a line? That it implies a line. Pretty easy? Okay, I'm going to guide people to just shift their timeline a little bit, just so you can shift and feel how this feels. Have the past go behind you and the future in front of you. And it's the timeline is moving through your solar plexus. Like you're in the moment of now, the timeline is moving through your solar plexus, passes behind you, future's in front of you, and you're centered in the moment of now. How does that feel? If it feels good, you can give me 2 thumbs up. Come on, Wesley, stand up. There you go, you got it. Okay, so now take the timeline and move it to the ground. The timeline is on the ground. Now you're hovering over your timeline. The past is behind you, the future is before you. You are towering over your timeline. Is that different than how we experienced it before? A little bit or a lot? Show me with your hands. If it's a little bit like this, if it's a lot, go like this. It's different, right? And different people are going to feel different about it. How many of you feel more, if you feel more empowered towering over it, you could raise your hand. Okay. If you felt the other way, felt better, you can give me 2 thumbs up. Now do this. Step out of the timeline. Step out of the timeline and put it in front of you like a ruler. Like the past is over here, the future is over here. It's in front of you like a ruler, and you can see the entire timeline. Is that different? Yes or no? Totally different. Okay. So grab a seat, feeling fantastic. So that's just starting to give you an idea of your timeline. We all have a timeline. One of the prime directives of the subconscious mind is it is the storehouse of memories. A lot of those memories may be unconscious, outside of conscious awareness, but they are stored on the timeline. Who had a different variation of the timeline of where yours was? I'm curious. Okay, awesome. Jeff, you had one? What was yours? You could,
Well, I have to verbalize it. I can't chat it. Actually, I believe it was at Sia or Neo. I can't remember which. We meditated on timeline,
yeah.
and I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of it. I'm meditating on timeline, and it was past over my left shoulder, future, in the distance before me. And as I'm meditating, that timeline began to go into a radius. It traveled around the planet and came back up and met itself here.
Very interesting.
And then, as a circle, it came up in front of me and then twisted into an infinity.
So interesting.
Oh, I
And
remember
as it
that.
did that, you might remember this story. As it did that, both ends began to fan out like a multi-ribbon that you'd tie for a Christmas gift. Then there were thousands of them. And then it became a solid in every direction infinitely. And I had described that. I believe I described it to you.
That was a while. How many years ago was that?
Oh, it's quite a few years ago.
Quite a few years ago.
And
See, but it was so
then I
impactful that you
determined-
remember it. I mean, you're describing it viscerally, so it was impactful for you.
Oh, tremendously. And I tell this story frequently. And as a matter of fact, I've given a lot of presentations on this very thing. And so from that moment, I realized that I could reach out in any direction and pluck information from the past, present, and future, and realized that all of the information that there is accessible to me. And somebody said, well, Jeff, you discovered the Akashic.
At Neo,
And I went, the what?
Akashic Records.
So I call it the Akashic field because that's how I experience
Yeah,
it, because
beautiful.
I'm not very digitally minded. So for me, it is the field of infinity and omnipresence. So I've always had a difficult time with the concept of time because it is all present to me. If I get within a decade, I'm delighted with myself. So my timeline is a solid that is infinite and omnipresent. So I can reach out in any direction at any moment and gather some of it up, past, present, or future.
So beautiful. And that awareness that came to you during that visualization that we did together.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly.
So
Thank you for that.
So powerful. My heart is overflowing with joy to see you both.
And can I add a little something to that?
Sure, yeah.
Every word that we speak, every thought that we have is a vibration that is contributed to the Akashic, which becomes, it's a very short bridge to the quantum. Therefore, everything that I think, speak, believe, that I contribute into the Akashic is shared with the entire world for eternity. Therefore, my contribution is that which I speak into existence and into eternity, and it will become the foundation for the future for our kids, because we all pluck information when we get downloads and epiphanies and concepts and gut feels. It's coming from the Akashic, which has been contributed to by everyone who's gone before me.
I love
Anyway,
this. Beautiful.
enough of that.
So
Sorry.
powerful. Give Jeff some love. Oh, I'm so happy to be with you both. So
I
the
love
Akashic, if someone's not too familiar with these words, do you want to define it real quick before you unmute yourself? If somebody's not clear on what the Akashic is, Jeff, just define it for them.
Yeah, sure. The Akashic, I liken it to the cloud. All right. You know, when your phone gets too full of information and somebody decided it was going into the cloud where it is stored in the cloud. Well, the Akashic is the philosophical, actually existing cloud within which all of the information, past, present, and future, is stored. The beauty of it is that we don't have to pay to access that information. It's free, and it's infinite, and it is acquirable anytime we want it. So we reach into the Akashic where all of this information is stored, pluck from it that which we need in the moment,
And how do you do that?
and use it simply by being available.
See, that's the availability and the willingness and being open to receive. This is the power of those type of practices.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's it.
Meditation and quiet.
Give Jeff some love. Awesome. Beautiful. Powerful. Breakthroughs in neogenesis. So you will gain insights into aspects of your psyche that have been outside of conscious awareness until that moment. That is the power of neogenesis. Like Jeff just described, prior to that, it was, most people don't think about their timeline. It's not something that's top of mind. You're not sitting around thinking about your timeline. All of a sudden, you're guided through this experience, and this experience emerges in consciousness. So back to the slides is values illuminate, or excuse me, I already did that one. Values form the framework for decision making. They are arranged hierarchically. When I guide the values elicitation on day 2 of neogenesis, we leave with pages and pages and pages. Literally, people elicit a cathartic process, and we literally end up distilling those values into the top 5 values that have been driving your life up until now. You will, by the end of day 2 at neogenesis, you will be crystal clear on the core values that have been driving your life up until now in the area that you're working on specifically. Okay, that's what happens on day 2. Then finish up this one slide. So values are arranged hierarchically. Your decisions, because values are the compass for decision making, your decisions, which decisions are the key to your results, or the key to your success. If you want better results, if you want to improve anything in life, you improve your decisions. You improve your ability to make decisions, your decision making. And that's what core values does. It guides you to improve your decision making, because ultimately it's really your top 3 values that are infusing your decisions. If that area, here's one thing I assure you, if that area has been challenging you, the core value that's been driving your life is likely unconscious. If the area has been challenged, if it's been a repeated challenge, or if it's been something that's been blocking you, that what's been driving your life might be something that is outside of conscious awareness until we begin this journey. So values are the basis of your personal standards, the standards that you have, what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to not accept anything less than. That comes from your values. Values influence your social interactions. They influence how you communicate, how you relate. Values drive your life. Now, what happens is sometimes there's a core value that's driving your life that's not authentically yours. It came in at a moment of fear. It came in at a moment of where you didn't have all the resources. So let me give you a quick case study of a woman who came. She's actually graduated SIA and NEO multiple times, and she's going to share with you the experience that she had about core values, and you could really notice the difference of what happened from the beginning of the experience for her and what she shares. And put your sensory acuity goggles on so you could see the shift in her physiology as she shares this. This is Gwen. By the way, her work with us has been so profound that she's gone through certification, and now she's gone on to become a hypnotherapist.
Neo is more personally transformative. It's over here, and it is a profound personal experience of transformation. Neo is where you drop down and you go into the deeper parts of your mind that you didn't even know were forming you. And the whole experience is very deep, it's very profound, and you pop out the other end. Niurka gives this amazing opportunity near the beginning of Neo and near the end of Neo to kind of pull up what your values are that are driving you in the specific area of your life. So for me, it was my relationship with myself the first time. I mean, the values at the beginning, you re-elicit themselves for yourself at the end, and they have changed. And I remember the first time being like, what is going on? Like, how did something change so deeply inside of me that my values have elevated like that in 3-4 days in an entire area of my life?
So deep work. The values, what's happening is that the values that are not true to your authentic self release, and the true authentic values that are aligned with your soul's essence emerge. It's like the clouds have been in front of the sun and we've just parted the clouds. Who remembers that song? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all, right? That's the vibe, that's the feeling. So Neo guides you through a very powerful journey of personal transformation. And I'll share with you a few quick case studies, and then I'll share with you the awesome packages that we've put together, because we put something very special together specifically for you in this group that we have not done before. So here's a few quick case studies. Here's Rebecca from Los Angeles. So she's a graduate of SIA, she's a graduate of NEO, she's a graduate multiple times of all of our courses. She released built up negative feelings and emotions. She says, Niurka was masterful at guiding me to release built up negative feelings and emotions. This allowed me to let go and live in my true purpose, my true power with love. Within 1 year of attending Neo Genesis, I quadrupled my business and became the #1 producing real estate agent in my office. So Niurka's changed my life. It's really, she's changed her own life. I was there to support and guide, usher in the process, but she showed up, she took action, and she's incredibly grateful. Here's Carolyn Griffin. She's a chiropractor. She says, Neogenesis was an integral part of expanding my chiropractic business. It allowed me to let go of issues clouding my mind, business intentions, and progress. Since attending Neo, I now have a second successful chiropractic office. So she opened a second office, started another business helping people overcome gut issues. Her children right now are becoming chiropractors. This would have never happened if it weren't for the massive breakthroughs I experienced at Neo. And then she shows her gratitude, and there's a picture of her. So it's success in areas of life, family, business, health, relationships, all these specific areas. Okay. So now I'm inspired to share with you. Here's what I'm going to do right now. I am going to go into some amazing offers that we've put together for you and really explain the difference between SIA and Neo to make sure you have an understanding and you can make the best decision for you, whatever that is. And then what I'm going to do is, after I explain the offers, I'll take questions. And then what we're going to do is I am going to have a grand finale of our session with the main group. After we go through the special offers, I'm going to guide you on an experience of the timeline. At Neo, we go into the past to create liberation in these old patterns, which completely changes your entire experience of reality, frankly, okay? But today, one of the things I'm gonna do, which is a much simpler and fun exercise that we'll do together, is after I explain the offers, we'll come back and then we will go into the future timeline, where we're gonna go into the future, into the fulfillment of your definite chief aim. Who would love to go into their future timeline and experience the fulfillment of your definite chief aim? And we're going to jump right into the celebration dinner of your definite chief aim fulfilled. What are you guys eating at your celebration dinner of your definite chief aim? Okay, so that's what we're going to do right after. So make sure you stick around. And then if I see a lot of enthusiasm in the house, I'll spin the wheel one more time. Okay, so drum roll. Let's go. Okay, so SIA and Neo, in the past, they used to be one course, but it was like 10 days, and it was such a profound transformation. We ended up splitting them into 2 courses that are completely different and totally complementary. So you could do one or the other. You could just pick one, whichever one resonates most on your hero's journey to manifesting your vision. Or we're going to do something amazing where you can have both. You can do the combo. And we've got something exciting happening. How many of you would love to do Neo in person? Like not just on a Zoom, love to be in person at a beautiful beach in a 5-star resort together, where we are going through a transformative experience, and then we can go into the ocean, we could have a fire ceremony, we can go into the waters, things of this nature. Who would love to connect in person, especially with so much? I mean, we love the virtual. The virtual is so convenient. It's so, there's so much value in the virtual, and there's something deep that happens in the personal that simply does not happen in the virtual. Okay. So we have a virtual opportunity for Neo. It's coming up this November. And we also have a live in-person on the beautiful turquoise beaches of Cancun in a 5-star resort on the Mayan Riviera happening in February. Okay, so you could prepare for that. So it's coming up. So here's what you receive, the difference of these two courses. So SIA elevates the way you think, speak, and live. It is mindset and communication mastery. It is more cerebral in the nature of its course. It guides you to dissolve self-doubt, procrastination, overwhelm, imposter syndrome, any disempowering states that are context specific. It guides you to neutralize emotional triggers. Who can relate to that? Some things that trigger you. Something happens and you're triggered into a disempowering response. SIA guides you to neutralize emotional triggers that sabotage your success. It guides you to transform limiting beliefs into beliefs that empower your next level. Now, I already explained to you the difference in SIA is the beliefs are context specific. Like my belief about speaking or being a coach or whatever that may be, where Neo's beliefs go to the root. So that's one difference. Okay. SIA guides you to anchor authentic, empowering states, to anchor them in your nervous system, in your being. Authentic confidence, clarity, unstoppable action. It gives you profound communication strategies, how to build instant rapport with anyone, anytime, sensory acuity, how to read people with precision, how to communicate with influence that inspires immediate action for win-win results. And also it impacts your identity so that you lead with authority and expand your impact and influence. So that's SIA. And it also gives you the most tools and scripts if you're a coach and you, let me look out there real quick. How many of you are excited to go through this for yourself? Yes. And after you go through this, continue the journey of mastery to support, help, and guide others. That you'd love to evolve into mastery in this work. If evolving into mastery into this work is essential for you, that's what we have available. We have also the opportunity to become certified. By coming to both of these courses, you start earning hours towards your certification. I'm not going to go into certification at this course. We can talk about it once you register, but there's 120 hours is what it takes to become certified on the first level. The first level to become a practitioner is 120 hours. Okay. So Neo guides you to release subconscious blocks at the root, as we've been talking about, that have kept you stuck for years, maybe even decades. It guides you to deactivate limiting beliefs and decisions at the root. So it doesn't mean that they like disappear. It means they're deactivated. They're not wired together anymore. They've been deactivated. So you'll notice in that deactivation that you have more space. All of a sudden things used to come up and they used to trigger you, but now you have space. Neo gives you or guides you to clear, again, release, clear, deep-rooted emotions, negative emotions, anger, sadness, fear, guilt, shame, hurt. And a lot of times people think, I don't have any anger. And it's interesting because some of the people that come in and say, I don't have any anger, have the biggest release when we release anger because it was so repressed. They weren't even aware of it. Okay, that's some of the biggest breakthroughs. Someone comes in, they're like, I don't have any anger. Can I skip anger and go straight to fear? No, we release the disempowering emotions in a very specific order. The very first emotion we release is anger. And we always release it before fear. Because you don't want to release fear before anger. That doesn't make sense, right? All right. So clear, deep-rooted, align your core values with your true purpose and highest calling. Break free from patterns that limit your income, your fulfillment, your relationships, anything that's important to you. Experience profound internal shift. It is like a rebirth. Become who you're meant to become. It is a journey of becoming. Sia is a journey more of awakening, where Neo is a journey of alchemy, deep fires of transformation, and creating a new beginning grounded in clarity, freedom, and alignment. Both of them give you hours towards your certification for those of you that's important to you. So before I share with you the awesome special offers we've put together for you, are there any questions about the difference between Sia and Neo? Because I want to make sure I communicated that correctly so that you have the proper information to make the best decision for where you are on your hero's journey. Give me some feedback. Is everybody crystal clear on the difference and how they work together? One of the things that's going to be working together is Sia is going to be giving you the language to amplify the deep transformation at Neo. Okay, so here's the dates. You could write them down. Sia is coming up July 23rd, 24th, and 23rd through 26th. In a moment, we'll drop the link, not just yet. So here's the dates. Okay. And we have fast action bonuses that we're going to be giving. Fast action bonuses. Here's Catherine Gagnon, another case study. When she first came to me, she was dealing with illness. She had Lyme's disease. She didn't know, well, she'll tell you the story. Listen to her breakthrough, and she's a graduate, and she's been certified.
I want to thank you for changing my life in the last year and a half. When I met Niurka, I was struggling with illness and I had just started my business and there was roller coaster results in my relationships and yeah, everything up leveled. Health, prosperity, business, relationships. This was my second Sia, so it was a revisit for me. And I can't tell you the amount of integration. Like I've been a coach, health and wellness coach for 2.5 years, and I've been using your tools, the scripts and the language and everything that I've learned here with you, with my clients. It totally integrated. And what was fascinating is that I had been using these tools for quite some time and I was like, wow, it's within me. Now it's become natural action. And within a week of coming back from Sia, I've been using it with 3 people, 3 of my clients with massive transformations. It's really amazing. If you're feeling inspired, if something is brewing in you and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking this might be what I want to do, I say do it today. When I did it, I was in a space of being very sick with Lyme disease, in debt. My business, I didn't know if I was going to be able to run it. And I tell you what, every investment that I've made has 10x'd the result. Thank you so much.
I am so proud of her. I am so proud of
I want
her.
to thank
Here she is with her. She's gone through our levels of certification on the hero's journey. She's become a practitioner. She's become a master practitioner. And you can see how she talks about 10xing her results. So that's Sia. Any questions about Sia? Was I that clear for you guys? I did an excellent job communicating it. Any questions about Neo? All right, you guys are getting the difference and the distinction. Awesome. So let me give you the dates now, and then I'll tell you the special offers that we have. So yesterday I went over Sia. Here's Neo. Neo is November 7th through the 10th. That's our virtual one. Okay. The team will drop the dates for our live in Cancun because I forgot to put it on the slide. They'll put it there. So you can go to virtual. Let me just look, just so I'm curious. How many of you are more virtual type people? You're like, just for my awareness, if we were doing an event, you'd be more likely to come virtual. Who's the virtual people? Okay. Diane, you're already coming to Cancun though. You're registered. I love it. She raised her hand for virtual. I'm like, you're registered. You're already coming. Who would love being together in person in community? Let me take a look. The in-person is huge. We also go on field trips. We go to the underground caves. We go, actually, I'll tell you a little bit more about that first. So I'm going to share with you one quick case study on Neo, and then I'll show you the special offers. So this case study was a gentleman who I met when I was on tour with Tony Robbins. And when I was walking out the door and I was signing books and I had a moment with him, he was not going to sign up for Neo or for Sia. He wasn't going to sign up because he had already blocked an entire year of all of Tony Robbins' programs. And that was what he said to me. He said, I'm already fully committed. But I had a heart-to-heart with him and I encouraged him to come, and he did. And it was profound, the experience that he had. And this is a life-defining moment. Like, people literally describe their life before Neo and after Neo. It's that impactful. Listen to what Don had to share about his Neo experience, and Sia, actually.
My experience has been amazing. So I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. I bought his book, Unlimited Power, when I was 19 and followed Tony for years. And I went to Vancouver for the one-day event, and Niurka spoke for about 45 minutes. And I bought tickets for her one-day event. So I brought my kids, and my kids absolutely loved it. They wanted to go to both Neo and Sia. So they'll be going this year. Neo was a huge breakthrough for me. It got to the underlying causes of what was going on, like deep down. I just had breakthrough after breakthrough. I went to Sia shortly thereafter, and I've implemented all those tools into my business. It's just been absolutely incredible. So, I mean, my investment probably come back about 300 plus times from the courses. You can't put into words. Your events are by far the best I've ever been to. I've been to ESI, I've been to Hoffman, I've been to all of Tony's events. Niurka plays full out, 1,000%. And, you know, one of the biggest things, like, you know, we invest in our cars, we invest in so many other things. When's the last time you invested in yourself? And make that investment. I can't imagine what my life would be like if we hadn't stopped and I hadn't decided to go to the course. And I had actually booked another full block of Tony courses. And, you know, I just knew I had to be there, completely transform my life. And so make that investment in yourself, your kids, your family, whatever you can do. It's a community. The friends around the room here, like lifetime friends, you can't even put it into words. You got to do it.
Powerful. Yes? Okay. So I see someone says, I can't wait a year though. We have an entire plan for you this year. That's why we have the membership. The membership is going to be giving you every week Hour of Power. We have other events that we haven't announced yet, specifically for our members. So we have this designed. I feel you, Anthony. Anthony's like, I can't wait a year for this. He's like, so we've got the membership. Then we've got Sia. You're going to receive more at Neogenesis by going through Sia first. Some people go to Sia first, some people go to Neo first. Either one works, but you will receive more by being in Sia, by being in Sia first and then going to Neo. You'll be in a different place. So, let me come out of that slide. Super powerful. So let me share with you, let me go find the special offers that we've put together. And let me ask you in the chats, I'm just curious, which one is resonating most for you? Is it Sia? Is it Neo? Is it both? Which one is resonating most for you? I'm curious. While I get my slide up here. Okay. Awesome. Both, retake both. Yes, the revisits is huge. How many of you heard in Catherine's language, the lady who had the illness, that she was like, this has become natural action. Like, you could hear that her language is resonating with the teachings that we have. She's integrated it. Okay. So here is the special offers. Drum roll. I can't wait. We haven't done this before. This is a special. Okay. So the team is going to drop the link in a moment. When you go to the page, you're going to see 4 options. These are the 4 options. There's the Alliance, which we talked about on day 1, the membership. There's Sia, which we spoke about yesterday. There's Neo, which I'm about to go into right now. And then there's the opportunity of a lifetime, which is a package, which is our best offer. Okay. So Neo, we click on this, and here's the 2 options. So Neogenesis, there's the virtual experience and there's the live experience. I already shared with you the benefits of what you're actually going to, the life-changing benefits. Here's more of the logistics. So November 5th through 8th is virtual. February 18th through the 21st is in person. So literally a year from now, we will be celebrating this while we continue going through all these trainings. So Neo is 4 days. Both of them are 4 days. Both of them get exclusive questionnaires. Okay, we'll go through the virtual first. They all get this transformational coaching, the timeline therapy process, all of this, and the opportunity to become certified. The investment for Neo Virtual is over $6,000, but you can take action for only $24.97. So $24.97 is the investment for Neo Virtual, and when you take action by midnight tonight, you get to bring one free guest who is new to the community, brand new to this community, for only $24.97. So it's 2 for the price of 1. Now, how many of you, before I go into, how many of you are more into the virtual? Just so I'm getting the vibe of the room. Who's more into Neo Virtual? Who's more into Neo on the beautiful turquoise beaches of Cancun, where we could give each other a hug and go on amazing field trips and all of this? That's the one I would highly recommend because of the nature of the community experience. So here it is. Neo is happening. This one here includes double occupancy and meals. So you have a roommate and it's $39.97, including your meals and your double occupancy and your field trips. You can see a look from this picture here. We go to the underground caves. We do fire ceremonies. We have a very profound community experience. And the ceremony part, I'm going to pause here for a moment, is really powerful. Like, we go through a process and then we do a purification ceremony. Actually, before we do the purification ceremony, we do a fire ceremony. Who would love to do, we've been doing ceremony since the beginning of humankind. How powerful would it be for us to do a fire ceremony together with intention? After we go through this profound process to release into the transformative powers of the fire anything that no longer serves us, and that we're together in a circle, in a sacred circle, doing a fire ceremony. Who recognizes the deep value of doing a fire ceremony in community? Okay. With very clear intention. There's very profound power in that. Then the next day we go into the underwater caves, or the underground caves, and we do a water purification ceremony. So we do a fire alchemy ceremony, we do a water purification ceremony. So you come out of this in a state of exhilaration, in a state of freedom, in a state of liberation. So the investment for Neogenesis in Cancun, when you look at it, it's over $8,000 retail for everything you get, including your meals and accommodations. You get to take action for only $39.97. This includes your meals and accommodations. It's our package. Super awesome. Any questions on that before I go to our final, because I know I'm running a few minutes over and I'm aware of that and I want to be mindful of our time. Are there any questions about Sia or Neo? I see Harold. I see you've got your hand up. Do you have a question?
No, it's not a question. It's just a practical advice for those who are thinking, should I take Sia or should I take Neo? My advice is take both.
Okay. Would you share what happened for you, just briefly? Like what changed for you at Sia and Neo?
Okay. In Neo.
Or maybe you could say like this, Harold, in the past, before, this is what was happening. Then I came and I had these breakthroughs and here's what's been different.
Yeah. In Neo, I had the biggest thing I dived into was my fear. And these were practical fears like fear of snakes, and there were more ethereal fears which I could not grasp, but they disappeared like just within Neo about 80 to 90%, and I have the tool to tackle it whenever it comes up.
I love it. So the fears have disappeared by 80 to 90%, and I have the tools whenever they do come up. I love it. Give Harold some love. Very powerful. I mean, how do you put a price tag on fears? Let me just pause for a second. How do you put a price tag on fears dissolving by 80 to 90% and then having tools whenever they come up? Give Harold some love. Always a joy to have you in the room with us. Okay, anybody have any other questions on Neo? Because I'm about to go into our final opportunity of a lifetime offer. Okay. So this opportunity of a lifetime we have never done. This is a brand new offer, has never existed before. Here's what you're going to receive with the opportunity of a lifetime. It's the best offer we have today. You're going to get a full year of Manifestors Lines. Here's the power of opportunity of a lifetime. You know, we're on this journey together for the next year to empower the manifestation of your vision and anything else that's most essential to you. So the opportunity of a lifetime includes a year in the membership. It includes SIA with all of the bonuses, replays, action guide, everything. It includes Neo Genesis, either Neo Virtual or, it's one or, either Neo Virtual or Neo in person. You're going to get a special bonus, which is something you can't purchase, an autographed copy of the book when you take action on this. The investment for all of this is over $14,000 when you add it together. Okay. If you're a new student where you haven't done SIA or Neo, the investment for you, this does not include meals and accommodations, let me let you know, but the investment for you is only $49.97. Okay. And if you're a graduate, it's only $29.97. Okay. And then when you take action by midnight tonight, you get to bring a guest that comes with you, new to the experience. If you bring the guest with you to Neo in Cancun, they have to pay for their own meals and accommodations, double occupancy. Okay. Them paying for their own meals and accommodations, double occupancy, it's about $1,500, just so you know. And I got one final fast action on this. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Who's ready for one final, like, over the top bonus for action takers? Give me some enthusiasm if you'd like it, because this is like over the top. So here's what we're doing. Okay. So this is the price, right? You could come virtual for $49.97, or you could come in person for $64.97. That includes your meals and accommodations. But what we will do is for whoever takes action by midnight tonight and pays in full, okay? You are going to receive, when you pay in full by midnight tonight, you're going to receive your meals and accommodations included. I had to pause for a moment because I couldn't believe we put this offer together. So I had to pause for a moment. So 49, is that, Carmen, did I say that correctly? Because I was blown away at this offer. Is that what we're doing here? Okay. So when you take action by midnight, you're going to receive $49.97. I had to pause for a moment because my team was like, we were taking this over the top last night to give you even more bonuses. So $49.97 when you take action by midnight tonight gives you meals and accommodations at Neo Genesis. Plus, you get to bring a fast action bonus of a free guest. Okay? Of a free guest. Carmen, did you put 2 tickets for the free guest? Okay, my team threw in some extra bonuses there I wasn't aware of. Carmen, can you clarify that?
Hi, yeah, if you take action before midnight tonight, you get to bring someone for a Neo virtual and someone for SIA virtual, new to the community.
Awesome. So you get to bring someone with you to SIA who's new to the community, and you get to bring someone with you to Neo who's new to the community. So let's go ahead and drop the links in the chats. Are there any questions on the special offers? I want to make sure that we're clear. I want to make sure everybody was crystal clear. So just a quick review, and then we're going to do that final visualization. So the quick review is the opportunity of a lifetime is our best package. You get a full year of the membership. You get Sia for you and a new guest when you take action by midnight tonight. You get Neo for you and a new guest when you take action by midnight tonight. And if you pay in full, because we do have installment plans, if you pay in full, we're covering your meals and accommodations. Who's got that? Did I explain that clearly? That was a lot of angles to our offer, but I want to make sure that's clear. If it's crystal clear, give me a 10 in the chats. If you're not clear, give me something less than a 10 and I'll make sure we're clear. But let me know in the chats how clear you are on a scale from 0 to 10. Okay, awesome. Diane says, Vanya says clear. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Any other questions about the offers? I encourage you to take action. Everything is 100% guaranteed. If by day 3 you don't feel you got your value's worth, we'll refund you. That's how much we believe in everything we're doing. I'll share with you one final case study, and then we will go into our visualization. This one is real quick. When this gentleman came to me, he was struggling, he was overweight, his business wasn't working, and he came and he did it again and he did it again, and he revisited. His name is Troy Hoffman. And then he grew his business. He sold his company. Right now he is thriving. He doesn't have to work, but he's created a whole new business on executive level coaching, and he's actually been on my stage. His transformation has been so profound. I did an event a few years ago on leadership, and he spoke on that stage. Here's what he shares about the experience.
If you feel that calling, like, oh, this is interesting, I feel like this might be something, yes, take the leap, do it. Like, this is your opportunity, because it's that voice inside you that's guiding you. Spend the money, spend the time, do the investment, because you're going to be a different person by the time you come out. The only thing that's going to change is right here, and it's not going to happen unless you and get in the right environments, get with the right training, get with the right leaders, and that's where Niurka is a very specific gift, has a very specific tool. She's a very specific set of tools that she can use that transform people's lives. And it's not like the first time she's done this. I mean, I'll bring this out, but Niurka's been doing this for a very long time. She's very talented at what she does. She's very precise. I mean, I think you've been doing this since you were 18, so I'm not going to say anything else, but like, she's been doing it a while, and she's impactful when you get around her. I mean, at that level of depth, I mean, and you're all day, all night doing this stuff, it's a different game. It just is.
It brings so much joy to my heart to see his success, because I remember him being in the room, struggling, not getting it, feeling like he was stuck and blocked. And now to see him thriving, he is like on top of the world with what he's doing. He's married to this beautiful lady. He's got 2 kids, and his life is just shining bright. And all right, everybody. I see there's no final questions. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Let's do a final quick visualization. I know we're a few minutes over, but we'll do a final visualization. How about you sit up tall in your chair? How about you elongate your spine? And how about you open your heart center? Let me see, I get some music going in the background. Okay. And just feel a sense of expansion in your body. And in a moment, I'm going to put a little music on. Before you close your eyes, I want you to notice how easily you can imagine a timeline with your timeline. Pretty easy. Can you imagine just your entire life implying a line? Okay. So what's going to happen is in a moment, you're going to float above the moment of now, and you're going to look out towards your future timeline. How easily can you guys do that, where you float up high and you could see your timeline before you and in front of you? Everybody got that? What you're going to do is you're going to float out. I'm going to guide you in a moment, but you're going to float out above the celebration dinner of your definite chief aim accomplished. And then we're going to go into it. Got it? Okay. On the count of 3, sit up tall in your chair. Elongate your spine. And just open the heart center. And allow yourself to feel a sense of expansion. It's like you're being lifted from the heavens above. Just gently close your eyes. There we go. And inhale a deep, rejuvenating breath. Deep breath in. And when you exhale, just gently blow the air through your lips. Slow, long exhalation. Now notice how easily you can allow your consciousness to just float up, 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 up high above the moment of now. Just float high above the moment of now. Like you're floating high above the clouds. And notice how easily you can look down at your body in this moment of now. Seeing your body down there, and you can look out into your timeline and see how it implies a line. Because on the count of 3, we're going to float out to the future. You're going to trust your highest intuitive wisdom. You're going to trust your subconscious mind to guide you to that precise place high above the celebration dinner. On the count of 3, getting ready to float into the future. 1, 2, and right now 3, go. You're floating high above your celebration dinner, and you can look down from the clouds and you can hear the sounds of celebration. And in a moment, you're going to float down into that dinner and fully embodied in that moment of achievement. 1, getting ready to float down into your body. 2, and right now 3, go. Float into your body. You're in the experience of your celebration dinner. Notice the colors. Notice the sounds. Notice the textures. You're raising a glass to the heavens in a toast. What are you toasting with on your celebration dinner? Who's toasting with you? What toast are you giving in this moment of celebration? How big are you smiling? As you take a sip and taste how good it tastes to drink a sip of that toast from your celebration dinner. Hear the sounds of the people around you. What are they saying in this moment of celebration? And feel the feelings. How does it feel to be in this space of celebration as they bring out this delicious feast? And now take a bite, your very first bite of the feast. What does it taste like? The feast of the celebration dinner of your definite chief aim, fulfillment of your vision. Taste it. Go ahead and smell it. Inhale it in. How does it smell to be in this moment of fulfillment? Notice what you see, notice what you hear, notice what you feel, and allow the colors to become richer and brighter and even more vivid and even more clear as this joy of celebration integrates within every cell of your being, feeling it in your heart, feeling it in every cell of your being, in your soul. On the count of 3, we're just going to double the joy. 1, getting ready to amplify it. 2, everybody's celebrating. There's music, there's joy, there's laughter. 3, double it. Yeah! Yes! Yeah, we did it. This is done. Woo! Sounds of celebration. Because on the count of 3, you're going to float up above that future memory. Only as quickly as all of these distinctions integrate right here and right now in every cell of your being. 1, getting ready to float up above that memory. 2, and right now 3, go. Floating high above. And now as you're floating high above the celebration dinner, just turn your body back floating high, and look back towards the moment of now. How quickly can you look back towards the moment of now and you can see all the milestones and all the SMART goals that have been fulfilled along the way to bring you to this moment. And then very gently and very sweetly, just tenderly, begin to flow back towards now. And as you flow back towards now, you can notice those milestone achievements, those SMART goals fulfilled along the way to that celebration dinner, until you bring your awareness and your energy all the way back above the moment of right now. The moment of now. So now you're floating high above the moment of now, looking down at your beautiful body temple that is present in this class with your beautiful classmates from around the world. And 1, you're getting ready to flow down into your body. 2, all the way down, and now 3, bringing all of your awareness, all of your consciousness, all of your love, all of your light, all of your wisdom and joy and celebration into your body temple now. As you inhale a breath, and you exhale a ah, exhale a ah. It's the sound of the heart. The sound of the heart. Now bring your hands to your heart and feel into the beating of your heart. Just feel into the beating, the rhythm of your heart, the rhythm of your soul. Say your name out loud so you could hear the frequency of your name. And say, I love you. We've got this. Smile to your heart center. Smile that smile of innocent love. And give yourself a little hug as you wiggle your toes and nose. Give yourself a little squeeze. Give your heart a little pat. You're giving your heart like a little pat. Give the space between your eyebrows a little pat and declare, I see with enlightened eyes. Declare as you pat your heart, I experience with a wise, pure, illuminated, and awakened heart. Bringing all of your awareness, all of you, back into the moment of now. How was that? That was a little taste of the timeline, a little mini taste. How was it? Share with me in the chats, beautiful ones. Okay. Amazing, great, loving, magical, fantastic, empowering. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I see a couple quick questions that I'm going to respond to because I want to make sure everybody's clear. I want to see a couple quick questions. I'm not clear. Does the fast action bonus include virtual tickets, not in person? The fast action bonus is specifically for taking action at midnight tonight. If you buy SIA by itself, a la carte, you get 1 SIA fast action bonus ticket to bring a guest to SIA. Does everybody got that? Okay. The second is Neo. If you come to Neo Virtual by itself, you take action by midnight tonight, you get to bring a guest to Neo Virtual. Everybody's got that? The final is the package. When you take action by the package at midnight tonight, you get to bring a new guest. The key is it's new. It's somebody who's never been in our system. They've never been in our database, in our community. So when you take action on the package, you get to bring a guest for SIA that's new to the community. And you get to bring a guest to Neo that's new to the community. If your guest comes to Neo, they have to pay their own meals and accommodations. Got it? Because they're a guest. They can room with you though. We could set it up where they become your roommate and then they just pay their meals and accommodations. They could reach out to the team later. It's about $1,500 for double occupancy meals and accommodations. Here's the final piece. If you do the package by midnight tonight and pay in full, that's where we're covering your meals and accommodations, which is like an outrageously amazing deal. Okay. And that's why it's gone at midnight tonight. It's a fast action. It will not be available at 12:01. Just so you know, 12:01. That won't be available. Let me see. I thought I had somebody's hand coming up. Did I? No. Okay. All right, beautiful ones. Any questions? Let's see how that visualization was. It's answering those questions. Amazing, great, loving, magical. Absolutely loved it. So fulfilling. Love to stay there. I love it. Okay. Team's going to drop the link one more time. If you have any questions, the team will stick around for a couple minutes. Here's what we'll do, because we ran a few minutes over. Let's start the VIP session 10 minutes later. Then instead of at 1:30, let's start the VIP session at 1:40. For those of us that are VIP, giving us an extra 10 minutes to go get some water, rejuvenate, things of that nature. And if you have any questions, stick around. The team is here to answer your questions. How was our Manifest Your Vision main session, everyone?
Great.
Absolutely amazing. Yay. Thank you so much, Niurka. Love you so much.
So powerful. Thank you.
I love
Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you
As
so much,
always.
Niurka.
Fabulous
Love
as
your
always.
energy.